Today is a continuation of our ultimate mixing guide. We are looking at making the darkest greens that we can make from the pigments that I currently have on my palettes. So I have chosen Indanthrone Blue by Daniel Smith, which is a mid-range, more of a warm blue, and Indigo Blue by Sennelier, which is a cooler blue, and Phthalo Blue Red Shade by Core, which is just a highly pigmented, heavily saturated blue. That's also more on the warm side. We're going to mix those colors with Indian Yellow by M. Graham and Nickel Azo Yellow by Core. So in order to do this, we are going to take, we're trying to make the deepest, darkest green. As a colorist, I'm always searching for color combinations and ways of intensifying the colors on my palette, changing them, adding variety. So you can see the minute you add the yellow, you start getting these nice dark greens. And of course, the more blue you add, the darker the green will be. So you can see with the Indanthrone, which is the PB60 pigment, we can get a pretty dark mixture with this combination. With the Nickel Azo is not as dark, but it is a very powerful pigment. And it's much more acidic, what I call acidic. Let me mix that with the Indanthrone Blue. A little more blue. And you know, all these mixtures depend on the ratio of the blue to the yellow. And that's something you really just have to experiment with in order to find the right combination to get the color you are searching for. But you can see we get a much brighter dark green with that combination. With the indigo, and this is my favorite blue. I use it all the time to darken. So let's do the Indian Yellow with that. And you can see over here where I've done these, that's the Indian Yellow and the Indigo Blue here. This is the Indian Yellow and the Indanthrone. So I've done this, I do this more than once because you can get a different effect every time you do it. So see, that's a nice, very nice dark green as well. Let me straighten that a little bit so it's not puddling quite so much. But I like to see it with a lot of water mixed in. You can see. So let's try the indigo, which is a much earthy, I call it an earthier blue because it's just softer. It's not as staining or as saturated as a lot of other colors. With the Nickel Azo, so you also get a nice green, but the Nickel Azo is not going to give you the darkest green. The Indian Yellow is going to give you the darkest green. You could use Sennelier Yellow Deep, which is another nice dark yellow. So try using the darkest yellow on your palette. And let's see what happens with the Phthalo Blue Red Shade, which is a very staining, powerful pigment. Let's see what that gives us. one of the hardest colors for artists to mix to get realistic greens. I never use greens straight from the tube unless it's a sap green, and I don't use that very often. There are lots of different ways to get green. Okay, that's with a lesser powerful yellow, the nickel azo. The reason I chose the nickel azo is it's just in so many green combinations of convenience greens. It's just a common mixing color. It's PY150. You'll see it in lots of green mixtures. But you can see it gives you much more. But these two, because they're both vibrant and saturated colors, they give you quite a vibrant look. So let's move that a little bit. You can also use a Quin Gold with a blue to get a nice dark green, as I've done here and here. This is Sennelier Deep, which is a lovely dark yellow with indanthrone. This is Indian Yellow with Ultramarine Turquoise. You can see it's a much brighter mix. This is Indian Yellow with Phthalo Turquoise, much brighter mix. This is New Gold and Indigo, beautiful deep dark green. That's Quin Gold Deep and Indigo, and that's the New Gold and the indanthrone. So you can see you can mix lots of different greens. So the best way to learn this is to just get all your yellows and blues and make yourself a chart like this, and keep it handy so that you can reference it when you're doing a painting. This is a lovely combination here, though. Very beautiful, deep, saturated green. So anyway, there's some mixtures for you, and I hope you found this helpful.